Well, greetings, 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 everyone. We're so happy to be here today. My name is Leslie Montgomery, and you are tuned in LKM Kingdom Living Leslie's Lessons Learned. And I'm here with the beautiful, beautiful Elder Wanda L. Floyd. And I'm so happy today. She wasn't with us last week, but I'm glad she's here today. And well, today we're going to talk about comparison can be deadly. Let's get started. So, greetings, everyone. As I was saying, all those that have joined us already, thank you so much for being here. We can do it without you, but we're so glad you're here that we don't have to do it without you. And for those that come on later, thank you so much for taking the time to hear what we have to say. Um, Minister Wanda, they look forward to hearing from you. They look forward to hearing from you and what you have to say. And I'm just so grateful that you don't find it robbery, or should I say, you don't take it for granted to be here. You don't have to be here. You choose to be here. And I'm just so grateful for that. And some of we talk about many different things here. And I try to always try to figure out what all the things we talk about, but the list is kind of broad. The list is kind of broad. Our experiences in life, the things we've gone through, the things we know other people have gone through, just to know that there is a way of escape. And all those things that we've done and gone through, that there is a way of escape, that we are able to come through it. We don't have to stay in that state. And so, first, I want to kind of give a shout out to the 1212 community. I put it in the chat. When you get a moment, go over there and look at some of the things that they have available. There's some free things and there's some things you have to pay for, but there's always something going on in the 1212 community. Not only free, there's educational, I'll say. You'll always find something educational in the 1212 community. So I want you to just take a moment. The link is in there, and you'll always hear me talk about the 1212 community. The 1212 community is a safe place. No, nobody's trying to start a church or anything like that. It's just life changing experiences that you obtain from going over there. And there's things that you don't even think about that you learn about yourself in the 1212 community. It changed my life. It changed the way I thought. And so I'm going to say this and then we're going to move on. But the two things that really helped my life was the Rosh Kingdom and the 1212 community. They gave me a different perspective on life. They gave me a different perspective on things pertaining to my life and everything in my environment. It tells you how to come face to face with your money, tells you how to come face to face with relationships, it's your job, everything. But it's not about the other people, it's about you. So there's things in our lives that we need to change. So I just want to encourage you. You'll always see the link in there. I put it in the chat as well. Go on over there and just check it out. Just check it out. You might be blessed and not even realize that that's why you're going over there. So, Minister Wanda, go ahead, greet the people. Greet the people. I'm just talking, right?
No, you're fine. They will be blessed if they go over there. Um, Good morning, shalom, everyone. My name, I forgot what I was supposed to do. My name is Wanda
In a minute.
for a minute. Wanda L. Floyd. I am all things hair, all things the word. And I am just grateful to be here this morning. It's an honor to be here. And I am grateful for all of you that take the time to spend with us every Sunday morning, and even those that might not be here while we're live that go back and watch the replay and comment. We're grateful for you because you know what? There are so many options out there um, on the social media platforms, especially on YouTube, that are speaking to life and life circumstances. But the fact that you have dedicated your time to spend with us every Sunday morning, and even watching the replay, we just want to say thank you, and we will ever be grateful for you, and may Yahweh richly bless your lives because of your dedication to spend time with us.
Yeah, I love that. And when you were saying it was an honor, um, something on the inside began to well up, because the honor is not so much us coming together, but it's an honor that Yahweh would allow us this opportunity to be here. And it's never about us, but we know it's about Him. And that's why we come Sunday after Sunday, because we love Him and we love what He's doing. He's not just changing you, He's changing us. He's building us and causing us to be more in line with His word. And so I got this video. I want to play, instead of doing the mirror today, I'm going to play this video. But let me give a shout out to some of the those that are on the platform that I see. I see Pastor Jackie, thank you so much, and Miss Michelle, and Miss Dana, and Miss Doreen, and anyone else that's on here that I don't see. I want to say welcome. So happy that you're here. So let me play. I was trying to toss up, brother. I wanted to play Change Your Words, Change Your World, because that's like an anthem. Yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this.
I like the new videos.
You like new videos? uh,
Always in your field of view. Like both of your eyes can see it through your peripheral vision. But can I ask y'all a question? How many of y'all saw y'all nose without looking in the mirror today? You have to understand this. Your brain actually treats your nose like background noise. Any visual signal
uh-oh.
that is constant, unchanging, never
Oh. I thought I did everything I needed to do. That it wouldn't.
new, never moves, is filtered out by what's called selective attention. It is the same reason why after a few minutes of wearing glasses, you no longer see the frames. It is the same reason that after a little while,
Ah.
you don't even feel the clothes on your body touching your skin.
So
It's not a hole in the middle of your face. Your nose.
let me try something, because it's really a powerful video. Let's see if it don't work this time. I'll get it to work sometime. We're gonna try it. Let's not try this. Is it up? But you can't hear it.
Your nose is actually always. Did you know that your nose is actually always in your field of view? Like both of your eyes can see it through your peripheral vision. But can I ask y'all a question? How many of y'all saw y'all nose without looking in the mirror today? You have to understand this. Your brain actually treats your nose like background noise. Any visual signal that is constant, unchanging, never new, never moves, is filtered out by what's called selective attention. It is the same reason why, after a few minutes of wearing glasses, you no longer see the frames. It is the same reason that after a little while, you don't even feel the clothes on your body touching your skin. It's not a hole in the middle of your face. Your nose is there. Your brain is just telling you, by not telling you, that it's really not worth your attention. Here's the lesson. What never changes becomes invisible. Not because it's good, it's because it's always there. I want to encourage some of you to look again, because have you ever considered that you have called certain things normal in your life because of how long it's been in your life? Your nose has been on your face your entire life. And some of you don't see it unless you look in the mirror. That's a revelation by itself, because there are some things in your life you will never change or realize until you look in the mirror. Because I'm telling you, there are some things that have been with you your whole life that you ignore and accept simply because of longevity. But longevity does not determine permission. Just because something has lasted, it does not mean it earned its place. It just means you have not looked at it close enough to question it. Did you know that your nose is actually always in your field of view? Like both of your eyes can see it through your peripheral vision. But can I ask y'all a question? How many of y'all saw y'all nose without looking in the mirror today? You have to understand this. Your brain actually treats your nose like background noise. Any visual signal that is constant, unchanging, never new, never moves, is filtered out by what's called selective attention. It is the same reason why, after a few minutes of wearing glasses, you no longer see the frames. It is the same reason that after a little while, you don't even feel the clothes on your body touching your skin. It's not a hole in the middle of your face. Your nose is there. Your brain is just telling you, by not telling you, that it's really not worth your.
So it was, we started over, I think. And so I thought that that was a good one pertaining to how we see things. You know, when we look in the mirror, are we really paying attention to our nose? Sometimes we are, sometimes we not. Are we really paying attention to our eyes? Sometimes we are, sometimes we're not. Sometimes we just look in the mirror to see how we look, how our clothes show up on us, and we don't pay attention to those things that are important, just as important. It's more, not more important. And so when we look in the mirror, what are we really looking? What are we saying? Are we so conditioned, as he said, to things that are in our lives that has been there so long that we feel like it's a part of us? Are we willing to change those things? Are we willing to come face to face when we look in the mirror? Are we willing to come face to face with those things? There's things in our lives that we have not even come into contact with because it's been there so long. So we don't pay it any mind. And so the video I thought was good as far as talking about us seeing things differently. And one of the things we have to begin to work on is comparison. I see Pastor Jackie put it up there. Comparison can be deadly. And so when I was looking at comparison and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about how many of us really um, really I don't know. I don't know what I was getting ready, the question I was getting ready to ask. But when we think about comparison, growing up, being compared, growing up, it starts with being compared to your siblings, being compared to your friends, being compared to those around you. And hey, Miss Alfreda, but being in a place that we have grown up comparing. Now, all comparison is not bad, but for the most part, the comparison that we have attached ourselves to has caused us to be stagnated, has caused us to not want to be who we were created to be because we're so busy looking at what the other person is doing, how the other person seems to be prospering so much better than us, how the other person talks better than us, acts better than us. Um, so when we see those things, uh, we have to understand something. I'm sorry, something preoccupying me right at the moment. We have to understand that comparison is a quiet death. It's something that grows on you. It's something that keeps you paralyzed because you're always looking for the next best thing. And then when you find the next best thing, you're comparing yourself to it. You're comparing yourself to people. You're comparing yourself to someone that has a better car to you. What's that saying? Don't let the Joneses get you down. Trying to keep up with an appearance of something that seems better than what you have, or appearance of something that seems better than what Yahweh has for you. And so in the comparison state, it it's a place that we need to come out of. It's a place that we need to relinquish comparison. When we walk this walk, even I can remember in the church arena, preaching, and this one preaching, hyping up everybody, and this one doing this, and everybody was trying to outdo each other, because of comparison. How many things in our lives have we tried to do because of someone else? I'm gonna take this for say you, Elder Wanda, and doing here. And there's a lot of what people out there, a lot of with techniques, different techniques can cause things to do maybe, and you're like, how do they do that? I think in that arena, there's a lot of probably comparison, and it's easy to fall into that because of the fact that people go to certain people because of the technique they have. Not so much that you want your hair to be healthy, not so much that you want your hair to grow, but you have this appearance that this person could give you, and you got the appearance, but you don't have the foundation, which is healthy hair, which is what's causing your hair to fall out. Why is this happening, in your hair? And when you go to those what do they call it when everybody come together and showing their techniques, the
Hair shows.
yeah, help me, Father, bring
Hair
things
shows.
back to my remembrance today.
Yes. Yeah, hair shows. Um, so within our industry, um, comparison can easily, we used to say, you say it's deadly. We used to say comparison kills.
Right.
So within our industry, it can easily and quickly kill who you really are and your gifts and your talents if you compare yourself to everyone. So a lot of times instead of comparison, we will compete with each other. So it's kind of like the opposite, but it can occur in the salon. It can occur when if you are working with educators. It can occur. One of the instances where it was about to destroy who I was and who Yahweh created me to be, because we're all created unique in our own right. We're unique, we're special, we're talented, we're gifted in our own right. But what can easily drown that out is when you start looking at the gifting, the talent, and the skill of someone else, and then comparing their unique talent, gift, and abilities to your unique talent, gifts, and abilities. We say it all the time. A life without you is like a world without color, and your color is unique. But the problem is that now I start looking at her color because she's this soft um, mauve that has just a slight essence of pink in it, and then I'm over here pink, but I like her mauve that has a slight essence of pink. So now my pink is not as beautiful as it really is.
Let me add this in there.
Hmm.
And the other person getting all the compliments. Go ahead.
Okay. And the other person is getting all the compliments on their mauve that has just a slight essence of pink. And here you are over here pink, right? Um, for me, I was a part of an educational team when I first began to teach on product knowledge, and we would do in salon clinics. And there was a group of us. I mean, there were at least 10 or more educators on this team. Now, when I joined the team, I had been taking classes at Toastmaster, so that our masters, so that I could perfect my speaking uh, capabilities. So if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do it well. So I've been in classes. Speaking publicly was not an issue for me. I had the ability to articulate, and back then I could definitely speak without using ums, right? Because it was something that we practiced
Right. Right.
regularly, right? And was teaching, practicing, doing in salon clinics, and suddenly, and I can say this, and if she's watching, she'd be like, Wanda, but we got a new educator who spoke very eloquently. It was almost like words and speech just rolled effortlessly off of her tongue. She also would do segments, her salon would do segments for news station in the area, which was Good Day Sacramento. So our leader, he would just brag on her, and she came, new to the group, not knowing anybody. And you know how somebody, like you said, complimenting and pumping them up, and almost like y'all nothing, right? He doesn't know he's making us feel that way, but he, in essence, is like he can, without knowing it, can make people feel that way.
Right.
Uh, and she comes into a new group. We welcome her, and now she is like the new kid on
The
the block.
celebrity.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly the way he had made her, like the celebrity, the new kid on the block. She just wants to come in and join everybody and learn with us. And he immediately puts her up to talk, and it just flows effortlessly. And I remember looking at her and began to compare myself. Like, why don't I speak as well as she does? Look how it just flows off of her mouth, out of her mouth, and off of her tongue. And I want to be able to speak like that. What's wrong with me? Why don't I speak like now? I literally was killing myself by comparing myself to her when I have my own way of speaking. I have my own way of teaching, and she has her own way of speaking, her own way of teaching. And later, getting to know her, beautiful young lady. We did things together outside of us educating. We're still colleagues and companions to this day, but comparison could have caused me to resent her,
Yeah.
be jealous,
Yeah.
which starts building up
That's
other
what,
tentacles, right? It
that's what happened.
starts, yeah, it starts, I forgot what it's called right now, ricocheting off, and you got all kind of things going on now. We used to call it an octopus, and because an octopus has all these different arms and tentacles, that one thing comparison starts to add other things to it. So we have to be very careful when we begin to compare ourselves. And that's just one example of how it can happen in our industry, even in
Yeah.
the salon. You can look at somebody who does short weaves very well, and you do short weaves very well, but you don't do them the way she does. It's her expertise, and now you begin to look at your weave compared to her weave, and now something that your clients are happy with, love, you begin to diminish what you can do. Mine don't look as good as her, and why, how come mine, and you, it's killing you. It's deadly. So comparison, as you say, is very deadly.
It is. And we were never made to compare ourselves. We were made individually so that what we had to offer would enhance what, because it's all about the kingdom. It's all about the kingdom. So what you can do, I can't do, and what I can do, someone else might not can do, but what they can do, it all fitly joints together, join together. And so when we're in that capacity of feeling like someone else does, and that's something I have to work on constantly, constantly. And mine is, I can say in the church world, that's where mine really gets me caught up. And one thing you said, and you were talking about how the young lady came in and she was all that at what she did. And the comparison was you begin to look and see, diminish yourself because of what you hear. And a lot of times that's a big effect on us, or effect on us, because of what we hear. And when we hear certain things, we begin to think that what we hear, that person that's speaking it knows better than what Yahweh has put in us. Some people do it to be despiteful. Some people do it just to be, because of envy. And some people do it because they're jealous of you. So they make somebody else, they celebrate somebody else to make you feel less than. When we think about Yahweh, and we're going to go to the word in a minute, but when we think about him, he created us uniquely. We are a gift, we are treasures. When you open up a treasure box, there's a whole lot of different treasure in there. And so that's how we are. We're like treasures in a treasure box. And when you open up when we were kids, or you would watch certain movies, and the pirates would open up the treasure box, and then all the light come beaming out of it. That's how we are. Each one of us have a special identity. If I look at your necklace, and I began to see your necklace, and your necklace have large round circles and small round circles, but one doesn't outdo the other. They complement each other to make it a gorgeous necklace. We complement each other when we realize that we're not to compare ourselves. We are to embrace who we are, and when we embrace who we are, it helps us. People begin to say, oh, she's confident in who she is. You know, they begin to see that you're walking in confidence of, and you're not. You're proud of who you are. And can I tell you that that is something that you have to work on? Is a daily thing. When I was a pastor's wife, and told this story before, and to be around the other pastors' wives, how I always felt diminished. I didn't dress as elegant as they could. I didn't have. I might have had four rhinestones, and they had 100. You know what I mean? I'm just using that. Or my hat wasn't as fly as their hat. And not only that, they would make you feel that way. And so I began to compare myself. And when I began to compare myself, I saw myself not as an adult, as a little girl. I felt like they treated me as though I was a little girl instead of an adult. And I remember one day, because it made me want to not be a part of anything. It made me almost have a nervous breakdown, trying to keep up, trying to, when they saw me, be not that they won't look at me like patting me on the head saying, "Oh, she's so cute." And so I had to go before the Father, because I was at the breaking point, and I had to ask him to help me, because I couldn't do it. I didn't have what it took to stand up to them. And there was nothing that I needed to stand up to. I just needed to be okay with who I was. And maybe at this time I didn't have the rhinestones that didn't make me any less. It's what's in me, the word that comes out of me, the word that brings life to others, is more important than me being in a circle of people that make me feel less than. A circle of people that in so many words, is a clique. They like who they like, and that's just how it is. And so that comparison can really make you be in a place of being stuck, being in a place where you diminish yourself, being in a place where you don't think you are who you were created to be. And so it's important that we understand that that's never what the Father had meant for us, and how He meant for us to be. When He made us, He said, I'm glad." And I'm putting it in my words. He's like, "It's very good." Each one of you that are listening, each one of you that are on here, that's how He sees you. He doesn't see you. He doesn't see me like He sees Elder Wanda, even though in my head I'm thinking, wow, she's really got it going on. She's powerful. She in my head, but it doesn't take anything from who I am. Doesn't make me any less. You know what I mean? It makes us come together on this broadcast and mesh it together, bring it together, because we're not caught up in that. We're caught up in hearing the voice of Yahweh, that He can bring and enhance what He wants to enhance in us. Does that mean that she might not be on another level than me? No, she very well is. But what it means is that the level I'm on, I've got to give it all that I have. There's everybody, look, those people on TV, we're not on their level. There's people that have never been on TV that's just as powerful as those actors and actresses that's on TV. We cannot compare ourselves to what we see, because we walk by faith and not by sight. So it is important that you understand that we have a purpose, and you hear me say it. Our purpose lines us up for our destiny. And what the enemy, yes, I'm talking about him for a moment here, what he does, he tries to trip us up at what somebody else is doing, that we never make it to our destiny. We got a destiny. We have a purpose. Each one of us was born with a purpose. If we don't know anything else, to build the kingdom. That's the first thing, to build the kingdom. And so, in order for us to build a kingdom, it's just like we can say, man, I want to put I'm using this, a liquor store on a corner here. But you look down the street and you see about five liquor stores. Or you say, I want my church to be right here. And you look right then across the street, there's another church. You look down the aisle, there's a whole bunch of churches. Or a salon. You can have five salons in one block, but they all have something to offer. Go ahead.
I was going to say, now um, management or building owners won't allow that anymore. Where, as you were saying, it could be 3 salons, within, I would say maybe not a block, maybe within a span of, uh, let's say there's one in each block, right? Knowing liquor stores, there was like at least one every 3 blocks, right? But Plucky's, I'm just remembering the liquor stores in my neighborhood. Plucky's was not worried about the customers A and B liquor was getting, because Plucky's had their own set of customers. Matter of fact, A and B Liquors was in my block. When I came around seminary and walked to school, A and B Liquors was the first liquor store. So that was in my part of the neck of the woods. So we might, if we was having a trip or whatever, we might go to A and B and get my candy, whatever. But then 3-4 blocks down is Plucky's. So I'm gonna go to Plucky's and get my chips, right?
Right.
Right? Okay. Then the block on the opposite side of the street, right before we got to my junior high school, there was another liquor store on that side. You can get something different at that liquor store. None of those liquor stores were worried or compared themselves to each other. They weren't worried about competition either, because all of them knew that there was a clientele or customers that were going to come to them. And I can guarantee you, because we lived in the neighborhood, and when we look at neighborhood, we met a span of blocks were neighborhoods, right? Because we lived in that neighborhood, all of us were visiting all 3 liquor stores. But what would it have been like if all 3 of them, like you said, they're all in the blocks, right? If they have been comparing themselves to each other. Okay, well, we having a sale, forgive me, y'all. We gonna have a sale on Mad Dog 2020, and then Plucky's be like, okay, well, now I'm gonna have a sale on Mad Dog 2020, and I'm gonna drop mine by 25 cents. And then Toland's over there say, okay, well, we gonna do that too, and we gonna drop ours by 30 cents. You never saw anything like that. And guess what? They all carried the same products and items, and we went to all of them. So why is it that we do that with each other? You have a nose, I have a nose. You have hair, I have hair. You got pretty lips, I got pretty lips. But instead, man, I show like Leslie's hair. I wish my hair would grow that long. Leslie still got all that hair on her head, and I'm fighting over here to make 4 strands work. I don't understand. And look how pretty it is. I'm being real with y'all, because sometimes that can be an issue. Leslie's hair is gray now. My hair is gray, but gray. Leslie has a greater density of hair than I do. And if I compared my density to Leslie's density, I'd be over here with weave in my hair, because I would be looking at hers and diminishing what I have, which is just as pretty as Leslie. How about this? I bet you Leslie at times sit over there and be like, I wish I could wear my hair as short as Minister Wanda's. Them little hairstyles be so cute sometimes. Every time she come on here, she got something different.
They're cute.
Listen, and Leslie don't know how I be struggling the night before to do something so that my hair look decent when I come on the show on Sunday mornings. See, there's always comparison always gives you a false narrative of the other person.
Force
She think because I'm a hairstylist, I'm over here. She ain't got no problems with her hair. She know how to do her
please.
hair.
I wish I did.
That ain't always the issue, because a lot of times, because we're hairstylists, we do, if you're one that cares, you do your best to make sure your hair looks nice. Try to look nice all the time, because the clients are the first one we see. We're the ones that struggle with our hair the most, because we got to try to keep it together. It's supposed to be healthy. How we get to keep ours healthy when we always try to make yours healthy?
Somebody else's. Yeah.
The false narratives that comparison brings.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I just want to give a shout out to Lady Darlene and Miss Posh that are on Instagram. Thank you so much for being here. And that's so true what you're saying. Hey, Elder Rogers. Good morning, sis, my sister Linda. That is so true. As you was talking, I was even thinking about restaurants, you
Yes.
know, and how competitive that field really is. But when you want a certain meal, you
Mhm.
go to a certain restaurant. When you know that somebody got them good greens and that good fried chicken or those ribs, you're gonna go to Smokies. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
it doesn't take away from the others. One of the things that I look for is some good potato salad.
Come on now.
Everybody don't have good potato salad. So when I find good potato salad and me a rib, uh, a barbecue rib, I'm happy. And some greens. Yes, I'm happy. But each restaurant offers something different. And you can go to Chris Roof, and everything's going to be a la carte. You're going to pay for everything separately, but you're going to go there because you like their food. You and then you can go to, I'm just going to say, I don't go there anymore, but Olive Garden, they're going to bring the salad out, and you're going to have what the whole, you can have as much salad as you want, and then you can order your meal. It just depends on what you want, but Olive Garden doesn't close down because of what Roof Chris offers. They know their place, and Ruth Chris knows their place. We have to know our place, because that comparison, what's that thing? The curiosity kills the cat. Comparison is really, it kills you. It's deadly. And we're so used to being in a place of comparison, that because we grow up that way. Comparison. Why don't you like your sister? Why don't you like your brother? Why don't you go to college like your sister? Why don't you go to college like, all these different things that comes along that makes you begin to compare yourself to others. And so it brings about jealousy, judgment, pride, all these things. I'm bringing up pride because we could look at Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel comparison. We read the story, and Yahweh says to him, Why is the continents like that? What's the problem?"
Right. If you do well, won't you be accepted? Why you tripping? Why you comparing yours to his? Okay. He
Did
didn't
he
tell
do
us
right?
exactly what was wrong, but he obviously it wasn't right. And he told him, well, if you do well, you know, won't you be accepted? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and
Hmm.
that's one of the things. Comparison will make you ignore your actual assignment.
Make
Bishop
you or
said,
break you.
come on. It will make you ignore your actual assignment, your own gifts, your own calling, your own responsibilities, your own opportunities. He had his own offering. He should have been worried about that. Okay, well, it wasn't accepted this time. Let me find out why it wasn't accepted, and let me make sure I do better next time. I got an opportunity to do it again. That wasn't the only time. It was first fruits. So it wasn't the only time that he was going to get to present to Yahweh again. But no, that comparison.
Comparison. And it grew. It breeded jealousy and it anger, all those things came up because and judgment. He judged his brother. He was angry that his brother's offering was accepted. That pride, why wasn't my offering as good as his offering? And then he killed him. Would you say comparison can kills?
Absolutely.
It's deadly.
Absolutely.
And so we see that in the word, and we go through life and we smile through it. We're hurt through it because we want to be just as acceptable as somebody else. And it causes us to ponder in our hearts, what do I have to do to be different, or to be all that that person is. I'm going to use you and Elder Rogers when y'all are teaching, and I'm like, man, why can't I teach like that? What am I missing? How what is it that causes them to flow the way that I'm using this as an excuse? I'm not as an excuse, but as an example. There are always things that will come along to make us feel less than, or make us feel we don't got it. I'm gonna say it that way. We don't got it. We can open up a restaurant, and the restaurant down the block, as Minister Wanda said, but some of them be right on the same block. Um, uh, has something that the other I can not want to cook anymore because I don't get the same response that they get. And so, in the process of that, we have to begin to recognize what's taking place, what's going on, so that we can walk fully in the process of what's taking. Was Do you have anything you want to say?
um, what I do know and what I have recognized is that a person who deals with, as Elder Rogers called, comparisonitis, a person that deals with that, it started from childhood.
Child.
Yeah. And once you recognize the root of it, then you can attack it at the root. You got to go to the source of it. And a lot of us who have had issues with comparison, some of us, it just pops up every now and then. Some of us, we deal with it a lot. And it comes from childhood.
It does.
Parents comparing you to the other siblings, grandparents, aunties. Adults can be some messed up folk at times when it comes to young people, children, babies, toddlers, and all of that. Now, some children are resilient. They could care less about you comparing them to their sister. Well, I ain't her, and I'm me. But there are some who are wounded by it and stunted by it, and they don't even realize it. But it shows up throughout their
In
life.
life.
It shows up. It shows up in elementary. It shows up in junior high school, college, on into adulthood. And if they're not careful, it will spew over into how they raise their children.
I was getting ready to say that seat got this. Yeah,
hmm
yeah, for
So
sure.
it's important that we go to the source. I've dealt with it, um, but not consistently. Uh,
Right.
I've had my share of it, as as a child from my father when I was going through what we didn't know then because we didn't deal with it back then was depression. When my mother died, and I was depressed, but we didn't talk about it and we didn't know what it was. And um, then he began to compare me to the other young people in the block my age. Well, they doing this and they graduating and they going here and they going, and look at you, and you ain't gonna be nothing. She ain't, he didn't know I heard a conversation with him and my brother. She'll never be nothing and she's embarrassing, right? And from that point I went to trying to prove myself, right? Because I'm going to make you proud. I'm going to make you have something good to say about me.
You
But
become an overachiever.
overachiever, and then, but I would see that comparison kind of creep up if it was somebody doing the same thing that I did or that I was doing. And I could be in there first, like we talked about. My the young lady I work with, and not to mention the girl was gorgeous too. She was just absolutely gorgeous, you know. And I'm already doing this. I'm already speaking. I'm already teaching and doing an excellent job at it. But then somebody comes along that is being praised. And when you look at her, she is doing it beautiful. But my is teaching the way my teaches, and
Right.
Wanda teaches the way Wanda teaches, you know. And that is the issue. Even when you talked about Elder Rogers and myself, Wanda teaches how Wanda teaches, and Elder Rogers teaches how Elder Rogers teaches. I remember saying, now, God dog it, I wish I could have all them scriptures like Elder Rogers have. And I went to find myself trying to find 15 scriptures to support what I was talking about. And Yahweh had to
Mhm.
stop me and say,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
it's
I
just
am who I am.
absolutely, it is just that quick, just that easy. And as Elder Rogers said, the enemy uses things because sometimes he just can't come in your face and just say to you, you know, you ain't like Leslie. So he's subtle. Remember, he's
Yeah.
subtle.
Yeah.
So he uses these things to pull you out of your purpose, to pull you out of your assignment, to keep you from your destiny. Because fact of the matter is, he know you all that. He know you phenomenal. He
Right.
know you great.
Right.
You don't know that.
That's right. And when you know it and you start listening to him, you forget it.
But if you can sway my opinion of myself, did I really believe it? Did I really know it? Because baby, if you tell me you can't cut no hair, oh, you's a lie. You a lie, baby. I can cut hair with my eyes closed with some safety scissors. Now it ain't the best thing for the hair, but you can give me anything and I can cut some hair. If you give me a butter knife, I'll try to make a butter knife work. One thing he can't tell me
Is that you
is
can't cut hair.
right. Something that I know that is factual about me, the enemy can't tell me nothing about that. But when he knows that it's something that you don't really believe about yourself,
Bothers you.
oh yeah, then that's what he comes after.
Yeah. And he does. Yeah. And so, Romans, or what, Romans, 12:6
Mm-hmm.
highlights that everyone has unique individual gifts.
Mm,
That's one. And there's a few of them here. First Corinthians 10 and Second Corinthians 10 and 12 warns that measuring yourself against others is unwise.
it is very unwise.
And so we have to make that shift in our lives, that integrity. When we walk in integrity, we don't have time to walk in comparison, because your integrity It's not going to be because of what somebody else does. It's going to be for what you've done or doing. So it's important that we understand that Galatians 6:4-5 encourages encourages take pride in one's own work rather than comparing it to others. The Father wants us to no longer walk in comparison. You know that one of the things that can happen with comparison, that I don't even know if we recognize, is that when we walk in comparison and the Father says He wants us to do something, that it can stop us because we're looking at the other person instead of doing our assignment. There's assignments that we have not accomplished or completed because of comparison. We
Mm.
see somebody else and what they're doing and say, I don't have what it takes, or maybe this is not the time. Instead of just obeying and
Mhm.
responding to what the Father says to do, there's a lot of work out here that is being held up because of comparison, because of people looking at what somebody else is doing and summings and, or how you say it, summing
So,
themselves up
mhm.
by what someone else is doing, thinking that they're not capable. If you have an assignment, you have the assignment because you are capable. Yahweh is giving you what He needs you to do for such a time as this. I'm putting that in there, for such a time as this, because there's something He needs to get, not to you so much as to someone else. So we have to come up out of comparing ourselves to what somebody else does or how somebody else does it. What you have, someone needs.
Yes.
And it's your responsibility to make sure that you relinquish what the Father would have you to do. And so even in that, and Elder Rogers is now commenting, even in that, um, we have to understand that what we have brings everything together. Not that that person is better, not that that person is trying to outshine you. Now, there are situations where
Yeah.
people do try to outshine you.
Yeah.
People do get in a place where they want to be seen more than you. I was thinking about this, and I
Mhm.
could be wrong, and I'm going to be quiet. When I think today, reading about Solomon and how he built the temple, and how it only took 7 years to build the temple, but it took 13 years to build this gigantic house he built that overtowered the temple. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, was that comparison? Was that? I'm not gonna go into it now because I'm just going to shift and go back to what I was saying. It's so important that we understand that we cannot live in a space of comparison. We have to be able to understand that what we have is just as important as somebody. I promise you, I look on Facebook, or well, yeah, Facebook and Instagram, and look at some people's, how many people they have, and I'm like, what is it that they're doing? What is it? Why they got all these people? What's going on? And it makes me say, how did they do that? And it makes me want to compare. It makes me want to say, what do I need to do differently to receive all those people? It's not about the people. People are drawn to what they're drawn to, but it's about making sure that I'm in line with what the Father has for me to do. Yeah, Ashley, I have lived my life in comparison and dropped my gift and abandoned my assignment so many times because of it. And that's a true statement. That's a true statement right there. So I'm going to close my mouth, Minister Wanda.
I don't know why you're doing well. Um, uh, One thing a lady named Jean Schultz would say, she says that like comparison can go two ways. And
It
she
can.
usually says like two nasty ways. So you
Mm,
either can end up jealous or angry or and forget about the blessings that you already have, right? By comparing yourself to others. She said, or you are arrogant and proud and thinking about how much better off you are than somebody else. Still areas of comparison.
self-righteous.
Yeah. So you're still looking at somebody and thinking, you know, we were reading about it the other week with the or at least I was Matthew 6 at the wall with the publican praying and then the Pharisee, and I'm not like the publican who is such and such and
I was
such and such,
reading that. Yeah.
and I da 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 da, and he's supposed to be praying, and sir, you're praying comparing yourself to somebody else who is just over there just trying to cry out
Humble.
Yahweh, right? He over there
Humble.
just trying to cry out to Yahweh, and you over there comparing yourself to him and like you're better. Sir, stop. Stop.
Who
We're not
got the blessing?
the publican over there. Right. Because you
Humble.
think you all that. And he looking at you like don't be, and uses you as an example too. Don't be like him. Do not be like that one. Right. And we can, as Ashley said, I like that she would drop her gift and abandon her assignment because of it, because we're looking at somebody else. What I
Yeah.
love about what you said is, and it's so true, that we have people in your assignment and in your gift, you have people assigned to you, people that are assigned to you. So while we're spending our time comparing ourselves to somebody else, they reaching the people they're supposed to reach, right? And then
Hey, sis.
we are over there um not reaching the people we're supposed to reach because we're too busy watching them,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm.
And then the other aspect of that, because you said some wonderful things, is the person that's comparing themselves to somebody, and then you trying to outdo the person you're comparing yourself to. Now I got to be better. I got to outshine them because they look good, and I'm not looking as good as they look, so I got to look even better than they. It's crazy because,
Mm.
in all honesty, what we're saying to Yahweh is that you did not do a good job when you
Mm.
created me.
Without even recognizing it. That's good. That's
I
good.
don't like the way you made me. I
Mm-hmm.
like this person.
Yeah.
And what you did it wasn't right. It wasn't good. What did he say when he made man? It was very good.
Very good.
And
He
you're
was
basically
pleased.
telling him when he made you, he made a mistake. He got everything wrong. You're throwing what he created, what he gifted you with, what he instilled inside of you. You're throwing it back at him and saying, I don't want this.
Yeah.
I reject it. It's wrong. It's not good.
Yeah. So, and it's so true. And we live in that space more than we recognize it. That's good. We don't even recognize or realize that that's what we're saying. You did a terrible job in making
Come
me.
on.
Why you make me that way? Why you do this? And why I don't look like that? And why this? And one of the things, and I want to close with one thing, but I want to give a shout out to Evangelist Reese that's on here. We've been friends over what, how old our children are, over 40 years. But thank you for stopping through. Uh, it is important that we understand that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are his masterpiece. Hey, Sheikah, we are his masterpiece. He made you just the way he wanted you to be. And so when we begin to love ourselves, when we begin to embrace who we are, we don't have to be worried about what the other person is doing. We'll fall in line and do what we have assigned to be done. Got to have a balance. We can't be, if that was the case, he would have made all of us the same. He would have made us like robots and everybody doing the same thing, operating the same way, but he didn't. He loved each and every one of us enough to make us different. His,
Mm.
I want Wanda to look like that. I want Ashley to be like this. I
Right,
want Reese to be like this. I
right.
want Sheikah to be like this. Every one of us. I want Michelle. I want Tiffany. None of us. It's just like our fingerprints. None of us have the same fingerprints. But guess what? We do the same things with our hands. We write, we cook, we sew, but none of us in comparison are the same. He loved us enough to give us a free will, and in that free will, to design us. He designed us differently. So yes, we talked about the side of comparison that can kill you. But I
Mm.
want to leave you with this. I don't know if you have anything else you want to say, Elder, but comparison can be incredibly good when used as a tool to motivate and self awareness rather than measuring your self worth. And that's what comparison is, measuring your self worth. It helps you identify role models, set concrete goals, and clarity that you truly want out of life. The key is to use it for growth, not to diminish your own value. It's important that we love ourselves and
Mm.
that we don't look at what someone else is doing because we're all made to make it work together. All right, Minister Elder Wanda.
Did you read Galatians?
I thought I did, but go ahead.
No, did you read Galatians 6:4-5?
I don't know, but go ahead. I read something. I don't remember.
Okay. Galatians 6:4-5. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another. For every man shall bear his own burdens. And then Hebrews 13:5, and I'll end with this. Let your conversations be without covetousness. Don't covet what somebody else has. Don't compare yourself with somebody else. You can admire and admire to a point where I admire how Leslie always wears a beautiful necklace with her blouses. So I want to add the accessories to my blouses. Not in the fact that, okay, Leslie got on that necklace, now I got to go get one like it or even bigger. Right? So we don't want to do that. So Hebrews 13:5, let your conversation be without covetousness,
Mm.
and be content with such things as you have. For he has said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. So I'm with you just as you are. I created you in my image and my likeness. That's the other thing. We're saying, I don't like your image and I don't like your likeness. We are created in his image and his likeness. Learn to love the way he authentically designed and strategically made you. And when he made you, he absolutely broke the mold. Do you hear me? There is not another one on the earth. There is not another Leslie. There's not another Sheikah. There's not another Reese. There's not another Jackie. There's not another Michelle. Not another Cheryl. Not another Tiffany. Not
Yes.
another Doreen. Not another Linda. There is not another one like you. When he
That
made
goes for you too, Ashley.
right, and you too, Ashley. There's not another one. There's not one that speaks like you, not one that looks like you. Your children can kind of look like you, but they still are not you. And no one can do what you do the way you do it. I need you to hear me today. No one can do what you do the way you do it because you were the one designed to do it.
Go ahead now.
So when he made you, he broke the mold, crushed it, mashed it, brushed away the ashes and the dust, and went on to the next one. There's nobody like you. So be proud of who you are. Be proud of how you do it. Be proud of the way you carry it. Be proud that you were made in his image and his likeness. And you have a purpose
In life.
and a destiny. So we need you to walk in it.
Amen. And the same for all of you over there in the Instagram world. You are uniquely and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
And that right well. Hallelujah. And so thank you so much for being here today. And so now unto him that
Mm.
is able to do exceedingly. I know Minister Wanda always get excited. Then I get the shit abundantly above all that you can ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. You got the power. You got the sources you need to change your mindset, to change your heart, to cause yourself, when you look in that mirror, to say, I'm beautifully, wonderfully made. I got what it takes to be the best version of myself. I come to add,
Come
not
on.
take away.
Come on.
An addition to what already is being
Come on.
said and done. And
Come on.
so, as you go through that process, remember, and we say this every week, a world without you is like a world without color. Your color is unique. Who you are is unique. And it's in its own, as Elder Wanda was saying, it's in its own entity. Can't nobody take from you what has been assigned to you. Can't nobody take your beauty. It's just like this, and I'm going. It's just like this. You look at some people and say, you look at them and say, I don't know how anybody could like them. And in the process of it, the most fine person is interested in them. Why? There's something unique about them. When I went to Africa in the ministry we went to, the pastor's daughter never did her hair. Her hair was all over her head all the time. And her husband said, that's what I liked about her. She didn't let, she's smart. She had her own business. She had all this going on, and she was not succumbed by what somebody thought about her. That's what I liked about her. Can I tell you today, don't be succumbed by what others do and say, because that's not what the Father likes about us. He likes that you know who you are and you walk therein. So as you go about today, remember you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Ain't nobody made like you. Nobody has your fingerprints. Nobody has the same amount of strand of hair you have. Nobody has the thought pattern you have. The uniqueness in who you are. Embrace it, love it, and don't diminish yourself because of what you see in somebody else. So as we go through the day, I don't know if you have anything else, Minister Wanda. Be blessed. And Father, we ask that if we live in a space of comparison and we allow it to overtake us, we allow it to rule our lives, we ask that you forgive us. We repent. We release comparison to the fact that it's causing us to die, that is causing us to not live the abundant life, that is causing us to not see ourselves the way you created us to see ourselves. We ask that you take the scales off our eyes, unstop our deaf ears, that we might see who you've created us to be, that we might hear how beautiful we are in your sight, that we might walk in the beauty and holiness that you have created us to walk. And we just thank you that you were so intentional with our lives, that when you made us different, that we could help build the kingdom. Everybody has someone that they're attracted to because of who they truly are, the confidence that they have, the way they walk, the way they talk, and they know that they're not intimidated by someone else. Help us to be the best version that you created us to be. Help us to walk by faith and not by sight. Help us to see ourselves truly for who you created us to be, that we can turn our situations around, that we might be all that you called us to be, to do all that you called us to do, and to have all that you called us to have. Help us not to no longer walk and comparing ourselves to others, because we don't know who we are. Ruach, we ask that you continue to teach us and guide us into all truth, that we would walk in the freedom that has been extended to us through your Son, Yeshua HaMashiach. And for this, we give you praise, we give you honor. Yeshua HaMashiach. Father loves you so much that he's concerned about you not extending extending yourself to be who he's created you to be. Stop walking in the lens of somebody else. Stop uplifting someone else because you don't know who you are. And remember, without a shadow of a doubt, he loves you. Bring your own color next time. Until we see you again, have an amazing day. We love you. We can never love you the way Yeshua loves you.